Hello friends. Today I want to walk you through the simple steps to help you make your very first sublimation tumbler. I'll show you how to take a sublimation image like this and personalize it like this. Here is the finished product, so let's get started. Now, if you are at a loss how to download your sublimation graphic that you want to customize, I recommend that you watch this beginner's guide first to show you exactly how to obtain that image. So that might be something you want to check out right now before you go any further with this project, so you can have your graphic chosen, downloaded on your computer, and you're ready to go. So I've gone into canva.com up here, and it opens up this screen here, which is the home screen for Canva. And over here, you can see that I have the Pro Canva membership, but what we're doing today will be easily done on the free membership. I have chosen to join Pro because I use this so much and use a lot of images, but you can certainly do what we're doing today just with your free membership at canva.com. The next thing we want to do is create a template that will help us make our design for our 20-ounce skinny tumbler. So you're going to want to click your custom size button over here, and when that opens up, you can see it defaults right here to px, which is pixels. We're going to want to change that to inches, and then we want to change our height to 8.5, and we want to change our width to 11. And once we've got our sizes in there, we're going to create a new design. So now that we have set the dimensions that we need to create our 20-ounce skinny tumbler printout, we need to upload the image that we got for the tumbler. So you go over here to your Uploads button. You're going to upload files. And then here you can see is the image that I have downloaded that I want to use on my tumbler. We're going to click that image and then click Upload button. And this little cloud here is filling up. It's loading our image so we can use it on our canvas. So as soon as that gets loaded in, takes it a minute. Okay, it's loaded. We're going to click it, and that, as you can see, adds it right there to our canvas. Now, as you see, it's smaller. We need our image to be this size because that's the size we chosen for the tumbler. So you just need to stretch your image out to cover your entire page. Now, there we go. So now we've resized our leopard print tumbler image here that we want to use, and I think the easiest thing to show you today is let's just put a name down the center. So what you want to do is go over here to the text button. You want to add some text, and you can just click add a heading or add a text box, whatever, but it's all going to pull up this text image. And then we want to change what it says to, let's do Jacqueline. Jacqueline. Now, you can see that's not real pretty. So let's change that font to something a little bit fancier. Just highlight it. It automatically goes to Canvas Sans. So you get lots of choices over here. They have the examples for you when you want to change your text. Let's change it to this cute one called Angelina. You can see how much prettier that looks. A little bit fancier to go along with the glitter and the, the leopard print. So now it's black. I don't think black looks very nice, but I do believe that really dark brown would be good. So let's click Jacqueline again. And to pick your colors, you go up here to this A button. You want to click that, and it brings up all your colors to choose from to change Jacqueline to. And if you notice right here, it has already taken our base image and told us the colors that are in that image. So I did like that really dark brown. I think I'm going to choose that for Jacqueline. Now, we don't want Jacqueline to go straight across. This is going to be wrapped around our tumbler, so we want Jacqueline to be on a diagonal here. So there's this little like a rotate button, and you can just turn that right there around and rotate the name. Now I feel like it should be larger, so we just keep that highlighted and go up here. This number up here is our font size. It's on 64. You can just play with it, start making it larger. Might have to stretch that out a little bit. So when you start making it larger, it's all going to stay on the same line. But you can just start making it larger until you think you like the size of it. And then just place that right there in the center of your background design. Now you are ready to go. You could just simply print this out and then put it in your tumbler press and have your very first tumbler made. But there are a few things you can do to make it a little fancier, and I'm going to show you those steps now. I feel like maybe we could do some kind of effect on the text here to make it stand out a little bit. So you can highlight your text button, and you'll get these choices across the top of things that you can do to that text. So one of the things that I think we should do is click this effects button, and it comes up over here with some choices of things that you can do with your text. You've got do nothing, then there's shadow. See what happened there? We clicked shadow, and all of a sudden now our writing looks a little bit fancier than just the plain. So let me show you that again. You go from nothing, and then you can choose shadow, and all of a sudden it makes your text just look a little bit fancier. I'm liking that. So let's stick with that. The one thing that you can do here is when you have your effects button and you've chosen something like that shadow, you can go over here and choose the colors that you want your shadow to be. So with that highlighted, the effects button chosen, it shows you we've gotten shadow, and you've got right here is your color. There's a transparency button above the color. You can change it to much darker. You can change it much lighter. You know, just playing around with the ideas. There's a great button here, first of all, that's a back button. You can click that back button and it will back up anything that you've tried to do if you do something and, oh, I don't like that. So I suggest you just play around here. There are several options. You've got, this option is called lift. Just adds a little bit of color behind the text. Here's one called hollow. That doesn't look good at all. And like I say, if you do something and you don't like it, right here can be your best friend, this back button. Okay, there's glitch. That's a little different. There's something called neon. That's different. And then you can get just a background. Now this would be great if we didn't have this image here already cleared out for us to write something. But I think that what I like the best for this name here is the shadow option. And that's what we're going to go with. So now, look at that. Look how great that looks. That's going to be a very nice tumbler. Now, if you're feeling really confident with your design so far, maybe you think that these bare spaces here could use something, maybe an image or a graphic, whatever you think. This can just be totally fit to what your interests are and what you love. So I believe that I'm going to put something either here, here, or in both places. So I'm going to play around a little bit in this canva.com, and I'm going to go over here to this side menu. There's lots of options, and I'm going to pick elements. Now what this does, it pulls up a search box here. These are just recent things that I've done, recently used. But in this search engine right here, you can type anything, you can search for anything. You can search for gnomes, you can search for flowers, just whatever image you think you might like to put on there. I think I'm going to go for a heart. So I'm just typing in the search engine heart. And now you can see it's pulled up lots of images of hearts. There's shapes, there's graphics, and there's photos. Let's go with photos. You can click see all. And this one is really sticking out to me. It's got some glitter on it. Let's see what that would look like. No, that's not really good because I have rose gold and that is actual gold. So I don't think that's going to be very pretty. So we can either delete there or we can use our back button. Like I said, your back button can be your best friend. If you mess something up, it will just keep going back for you till you get to the point where you like your image. So we're going to just keep looking over here for some type of heart to put on there. Let's see, now we're on heart health. So let's go back in and type heart. Okay, lots of choices here. This is really cute. I think that would be a very cute image to put here on our blank spaces that we have. Now what I like about Canva is you can take an image and you do not have to keep it white. You can actually go right here to this color button and go back in and choose from these colors what you want your hearts to be. And I think I'm going to go for this dark brown again. There's something about that dark brown that I'm really liking. Now what I want to do is size that a little bit, use the rotate button, and pull that around to the size that or to the rotation that I want it to be there with my name. Okay, I've got that image that I chose of the hearts. I changed the color to match the colors in the rest of my image. And now I think I also want to place hearts down here in the other blank space at the bottom of my tumbler. So when you highlight your image here, one of the choices that you get is a duplicate button. So I'm going to duplicate that so that I can then move and have an image down at the bottom of my tumbler to kind of match the image that's at the top. Now another feature that you can do is sometimes when you have an image here and you duplicate it and move it to the other side, a good thing to do is flip the image. And you'll see what I mean here. You have this highlighted. We're going to go up here to flip. We're going to flip it horizontally. And now you can see the hearts are on the outside and the little trio of hearts is on inside of the image, the inside there. So I don't know how you feel about it, but that was a very simple way to take a downloaded image of a tumbler and then fill in your own personalized area here in the blank space that was on that tumbler. Now our design is complete. I like the way it looks, and I think it's going to be very pretty on my tumbler. Now at this point, I do want you to understand that Canva is not scary. You can't mess anything up. You've got your friendly back button up here to get you out of any sticky situation you might find yourself in. But you can just take this entire blank canvas, go over here to the Elements button, and you can just create your own design. There's unlimited things to pick from. You just type in whatever you're wanting to search for up here in the search button. Let's do gnomes. And you just get so many choices to pick from. And you can just take that blank canvas. You don't have to download this image that I downloaded. you can just start and design your own right from scratch from the pictures in Canva. Now, one word of caution is my Canva is Canva Pro, which means I do pay a monthly fee to get more images. But under the free, you can choose images that are free. So it doesn't show it here because I am a pro member and it's well worth it. The monthly fee is well worth it, and a lot of times they'll have a sale and knock half of that off, even more. I think right now it's $12.99 a month, and I have unlimited, just unlimited. Look, you can just see I typed in gnome and it just goes on and on and on of the choices that of the gnomes that I can choose. But while you're learning, if you want to just use the free Canva membership, when you come over here, these images will either say free or it'll have a crown saying pro. So if you want to play around without spending any money, just make sure when you're looking for an image that you choose a free image. Then if you choose a free image, it's going to put that free image right there on your canvas for you to design with. So maybe the free membership is great when you're starting to learn and playing around. But this is an idea for you of how this whole process works. So I hope you found it easy, and the next thing we want to do is print this out so we can get it on our tumbler. So here is our final project. We downloaded this background image that had this blank space on it, and then we used all the Canva text options to apply our own text and graphics, and then we made our text a little bit fancy by using the shadow effect. So that looks really good, and all we have to do now is print it. Now when we print this, actually we're not going to print it from Canva. We're going to download it to our computer and then print it from our photo software. So what we do is we go up here to the share button, and we're going to share it to download. And you just click the download button. And we are printing this as a PNG image. Now you can do JPEG image. There's lots of different things that you can choose here, but in my opinion, I usually just use we can use the JPEG, is best for sharing since we are just going to download it. And I click the download button, and now you can see it's just downloading it onto my computer. And there we go. It has downloaded it to the computer. Now I do want to say here that we're completely done with Canva. We did everything from uploading our background and then editing any text that we want to say on there. So we are done with Canva and we're ready to close that out. Okay, now all we have to do is print our image. So we're going to have to find it first. Now what we did was we downloaded it. So most of the computers are the same, whether you have Windows or a Mac, but you find your downloads folder. And right here you can see, here is our completed design that we made in canva.com. And all we have to do now is print that on our Sublimation printer with the Sublimation ink. So I have a Mac. Windows is not too much different. All of them have the same print functions, but I'm going to go up here and choose my file and print. And that opens up a print window. From my print window, I have several choices that I can choose here that is going to affect the quality of my image. And of course, you want it to be the best quality image to go on your tumbler. So you're going to want to make sure when your print window opens, you can do this preview button. One of the choices is media and quality, and it defaults to normal. I want this to be best, so you just click over on the best. I guess maybe better slide it. Now, we are choosing to print the best image rather than normal. Now, your writing, as you look at it, it's written the way we would read it. But when you're printing, your writing needs to be mirrored, which means it needs to be flipped. Because when you iron it on your image, if the text is flipped, once you iron it on, you'll be able to read it correctly. So let me just show you what you do here. You go back to your preview, and we're going to do layout. Now, we want this writing to be backwards, mirrored, so when we iron it on, it will be correct. So we have a flip horizontally button, and what that does is it turns around and makes your writing backwards. So then this part that you're showing is going to go against your tumbler. So if you can see that, once it's flipped and ironed on your tumbler, then the writing will be correctly, positioned to where you can read it. So now all we have to do is choose print. And it is sending this image that we designed ourselves to the printer, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now here's our final printout, and I want to note here that it is definitely dull. It's a dull looking printout, but once the sublimation process occurs by adding heat, all of these colors are just going to be so vivid and beautiful. And finally, you can see when we do wrap this print around our tumbler, you'll be able to see that our writing is going to come out perfect. You can actually read it because we mirrored that text. So now let's get this ironed on so you can see just how easy making a sublimated tumbler can be. Now what I'm doing here is I need to cut a little bit off of each side to fit my tumbler. Now, not all tumblers are created the same, so you can just take your tumbler and wrap your image around it. And I know that there's no problem on the top and the bottom. We do have image there on both sides, but there was some overlap here. So what I've done is I cut about 1/2 of an inch here, actually 3/4 of an inch from this side. Then I'm going to come back in. I want my total image to be about 9 1/4. So I've cut off a little bit on this side, then I come down to the 9 1/4, and I've made a mark so that I can cut off the same amount here on the other side. Then when I'm done, it will fit on the tumbler much better. So we're going to cut this other side right here to where the full width of the project is 9 1/4. To me, it's easier. You can do your print size to be 9 1/4, but I just find it easier to go with the full 8.5 by 11 printout and then just cut from each side to make the finished image 9 1/4. But you can do whichever way you prefer. So we're going to cut this last, whoops, we're going to cut this last side off right here. And then we're going to see how that fits. And before you actually put it in your heat machine, you can just lay it out and see that those images do meet up there when you tape it really tight. So that's the next step. We're going to cut off a couple pieces of tape and tape that together on our tumbler very, very tightly. And the key for lining it up, of course, excuse me, the key for lining it up, of course, is, you want to get it on there fairly straight. So I just lay it down and pull it up as tight as I can. Then I pull the other side up as tight as I can. Let those two pieces meet and put that tape right there to hold that. Look at it again. Make sure you like the lining the alignment there. And we're going to put a piece of tape at the top and at the bottom as well. Okay, there we go. We've got it taped. If you feel like you need a little bit more tape, you can put it on there. But once I put it in the press machine, that's going to hold that on there really tight. Now we just have to heat up our heating method. Now I choose to use an actual tumbler press, but there are videos online to show you how to use a heat gun. They show you how to use a convection oven. But this is my choice. It seems to work really well and it's very fast. And I do enjoy this heat press machine that I use, the tumbler press. Now I like to use the heat setting of 370 degrees for 50 seconds. Rotate the tumbler and then do another 45 seconds. Those are the temperatures and the times that work best for me. As you continue to get further into tumbler making, you'll find what temperatures you like best. My machine says use 360 for 45 seconds. I do not follow that. I just find that my 370 for 50 seconds works better for me. Like I said, as you go along, you'll figure out what works best for you. Even when you purchase tumblers, they come with a temperature setting recommendation as well. So a lot of times they don't even match what the machine says. But we're learning here, and we're going to do this at the 370 and see how we like it. Now, one thing that I recommend you get is some heat-resistant gloves, because you do need to rotate that tumbler after the first heating process of 50 seconds. So it looks like it's ready. Now, when you place this inside your tumbler press, I like to put the seam there on the side. Then when I flip it, I just flip the seam there to the other side. So the first thing we're going to do is put it in for the first 50 seconds. Just pull the lever back. As soon as you click that lever into place, the timer's going to start counting down the 50 seconds. Then after those 50 seconds are up, we will open it, rotate the tumbler, close it again, and go for another 45 seconds at that same temperature. Okay, that timer means we're ready to open the top and rotate the tumbler. I'm going to rotate that tumbler all the way around using your heat glove. And we're going to close it back. And that timer's clicking down once again. And there we have the timer saying that the tumbler is ready. You want to open that, take your tumbler out, and let it cool just a minute so you'll be able to peel that off and see what a great work of art we've made here. Okay, friends, in my opinion, this is the most fun part of any sublimation project, is the reveal. So we're just going to, it's cooled off enough to touch. I'm just going to come in here and start peeling off. Oh my gosh, I love the rose gold. So start peeling off that pattern that you did there. And there you have it. We have our design that we put on ourselves. We put the name on it with another design there at the bottom. And you can see it's just really, really a very pretty tumbler. I like it a lot. Now, I purchase my tumblers from Amazon, and when I do, they do come with accessories. We've got this little peel and stick thing that goes on the bottom that tells you it's stainless steel, skinny tumbler, do not microwave, hand wash only, made in China. So you just have to peel that backing off. Flip over your tumbler and then just attach that there on the bottom. It also comes with the lid. Comes with the straw and a little brush there to clean the straw when it gets gunky. And then finally it comes with a really cute gift box with a window there to put the cup in when you're ready to gift it. And there you have it. So I hope you had fun following along with me to learn how to make your very first tumbler. And it's probably going to be the first of many because it is an addiction and I absolutely love doing this. So thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this, I invite you to see the other tutorial videos we have. Some for Cricut alone, some for sublimation. Just a lot of helpful information that we like to get you started and on your way to making some beautiful objects to gift your friends. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when we make more tutorials to share with you. Also, if you have a topic that you're struggling with, drop us a comment so that we can help you by making a tutorial for you in that area. This was such a fun project today. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, so long.